Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was
Backfired.
terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news, and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.
You're watching The Advocate on Plus TV Africa. Time to go beyond borders. Last Sunday was yet another Mother's Day celebration, as you've just heard from Chuka. The third or second so far this year, I believe. But of course, many would argue that every day is Mother's Day. A post on Twitter triggered my debate this week. The post was by South African broadcaster, film producer, and former editor of Oprah's O magazine, Komotso Matsunyane. Komotso wrote, "I have no regrets about never birthing children. Stop trying to convince the rest of us that we're all missing out. Not all of us should want to be mothers. Hashtag child-free, hashtag guilt-free, hashtag no regrets." Much as many women, including myself, applauded her for voicing the important yet contrarian thoughts, others, however, felt she should have waited till Monday to speak her mind. They just weren't here to read any post that dissented from their gendered narratives. Note, majority of these others were also mothers. Why is it so wrong for one woman to vocalize her thoughts, whilst also speaking for millions of women who object to society's packaging and dictatorship of their female wants and aspirations? It can't be denied that globally, the expectation and conclusion is that all women wish to give birth. Yet, some of the best mothers I know have never given birth, neither have they ever desired to do so. In Nigeria, to be boldly express such a wish to family or friends is to immediately be slapped with a barrage of responses. Why? What's wrong? How can you say that? Oh, and don't forget your mother's response once you tell her, oh, you better just cuckoo kill me now. Look, I'm as much a sucker for commercial celebrations as the next person. But seriously speaking, what contributions have the numerous annual commemorations of Mother's Days around the world made to the plight of women in this patriarchal universe? In fact, some would suggest that to give the day its full value, it should be used as an opportunity to invite the rhetorics from women whose candid volitions are muffled by the jingoist chants of us mothers. I believe messages like Komotso's are more important if we truly wish to actualize the genuine emancipation of all women. It's time the world got over herself and faced up to the fact that the possession of a womb is not eponymous with childbirth.
Well, for me, it's not. So it's very strange because sometimes when I see all this, like what you've just said, that Komotso, somebody.
Komotso.
Oh, okay, the K is silent.
It's not. It's a South African name.
No, I know. I don't. I'm not South African.
Komotso?
So whatever her name is, I think that she would have irritated me for the simple reason that I'm not part of what she's complaining about, and she assumes. But I would like to ask: is there statistics to show that there are much more people who think that because you have a womb, you must have a child? Has that not subsided with time? That right now we would think that it's not too bad now that you could, my daughter could tell me, for instance, now that she doesn't want to have a child. So, and it won't mean anything to me.
Right.
I wouldn't even flinch if she says it. But I may be 1 in 1 million. Is there statistics to that?
Right,
because
so
I see it looks like things are better now. I don't know how much better.
Komotso sent out a tweet, right? Okay. She did a post, desire from her heart. That's what she felt like posting on Mother's Day, right? Whether people like it or not is their problem. What I found, and it was the reason why a lot of people didn't like it, is like, oh, it's Mother's Day. Don't tell us that today. Come back tomorrow. Don't ruin our day, etc., etc. Now, you ask about statistics. I don't think there is one, at least not in Nigeria. No. But there is a trend And it's a growing trend of women who are choosing not to have children, either through biological circumstances, either through the fact that they've inherited certain genes they don't want to pass on to children. It's like more women are choosing to remove their breasts. Okay, so whether either because they like being with their partner and they're not afraid. Yes, they do. The more women are taking,
they'll be flat.
They take their breast. More women are taking.
Okay, can I just come in here?
What's it called? The option they can remove their breast because if they believe that they carry a BRCA gene, best to remove the breast.
No, of course now.
That's what I'm just. I just use this as an example. Yeah. So women, more and more women are beginning to actually take the choice that they don't want to have children. But what most society don't like is for them to say it and to be allowed to just, you know what, that's how you feel.
Yeah, okay. my point, what I'm not...
No, it is. I'm not saying it isn't, but
because
you still get attacked.
I've heard of couples who got married and say, look, we don't want children.
There are many like that.
My problem with this journalist, I don't know, don't even want to get into pronouncing the names.
Komodo.
Yes, simple. Is that there's obviously she's triggered by mothers, because I don't really see why she needed to even put out a tweet like that. It was almost like she just wanted to rain on Mother's Parade. I don't see any reason.
Do you not read the rest of it? She said, and there are lots of women say, and the minute you get married is even worse. When are you having children? Do you not think
that's not bad?
That's one of the things she says, like, don't make me feel guilty about don't make me feel guilty about not wanting to birth a child. It doesn't mean I'm not a mother.
Even if, like, for instance, if the same pressure is put on people to get married, same pressure is put on people to go to school. I just feel like we're too sensitive these days to everything.
That's where I was going.
It's getting out of hand. Let mothers be celebrated on Mother's Day. If you have a contrary opinion,
she didn't say mothers shouldn't, but she should be able. What is so sacrosanct about the third Mother's Day? All of which are inconsequential.
Sorry, I voiced it 3 months later.
It is not mothers that are celebrating mothers.
Other people celebrating
I am celebrating my mother, and you say I'm making you feel bad.
And she's celebrating the fact that she doesn't wish to be a mother. What's your problem with that?
They believe she has a motive.
So this is me now trying to stay in the middle lane. So obviously, Komodo felt that the best time to say something about the problem or about this tendency will be on Mother's Day, because it will travel further, and it will, to use your word, is a trigger.
A trigger of a debate.
Of a debate, and I think so. So that's what she wanted to do. I sense that. I mean, she's media savvy.
Yes,
I mean, you can tell from her background that she understands how to trigger. So she felt that this is the best time, and it's very calculated. You could see the hashtags she put there. So it was deliberate. And so this conversation we're having now is as a result of what happened.
Well, that's what I wrote in my script, Emeka. I said, if we're truly, why is it that people are afraid when we need to have a conversation? If we're truly about emancipating women, if we're truly about emancipating women, let's have the discussion. Because there's nothing wrong with discussion.
In some cases, some people just say, we know that in Igbo tradition, as much as they love family, children, you have the highest number of reverend fathers who are celibate from this part of the country. And mothers, in some cases, let me finish,
push them,
even encourage their children.
I think we should name this show Let Me Finish.
There's a lot of let me finish.
Their children.
And I'm going to say, honestly, we have viewers that watch this. As many of you send in messages, if you've ever been asked, how many times you've been asked in your life if you're going to have children?
There are people that will be asked those questions. There are people that nobody will ask, nobody will bother.
I imagined we've rocked some boats on this edition. Personally, I'm glad I did. Time to bring things to a close. In the meantime, keep your comments coming in on our social media platforms. On Facebook, Plus TV Africa, #AdvocateNG, or on Twitter and Instagram, Plus TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG. Let's keep advocating for a better society and for the emancipation of women.
Bye.
Oh dear.
Ciao.
Bye.
Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see
Yes.
many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
No, really.
Disastrous for a president
To even say
be
he's unaware.
unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was very,
Backfired.
very terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.